I believe having a music scene in the community is very important, especially for the youth or people who are creatives. It's important that they have an outlet to express themselves.
If it's in your local community, it's a lot more accessible to be a part of it yourself.
I signed up for this project because I felt like it would be a good challenge, to be honest.
It's interesting to be in a space where you're just recording with absolute strangers. 100% an interesting experience.
I just thought it'd be interesting to get in a room with some of the musicians and just see what happens.
I wanted to interact with other local musicians and be part of something within the community.
In Enniscorthy, I would love to see a lot more places to exhibit art or things that can help people express themselves.
I would love to see a lot of places being more accommodating towards loud music. That would be great.
I'd love to see more funding going towards venues to get artists in.
A fund like Creative Places can have a massive impact into the local community. It's got people talking, it's got people engaging, and just like a nice safe place where people can grow and flourish.
The very name Creative Places to me is a positive name.
Stuff like this I think would be fantastic for young people and even people who are experienced.
They're doing a good job so far, and I hope that it goes on for the future.
It's a cliche thing to say, but music is a universal language.
When it's in your community, it's a lot more accessible and a lot less daunting. You can be more active in the community that way.
Music plays a huge role in bringing people together. It's just been a massive vital part for me and my family.
Everything else divides. Music is the only thing that actually brings people together.
Well, I think it's very important to have a music scene in a community so that people can inspire each other, learn from each other and have fun together.
It's essential to have a music scene in any community, and when there is no scene in Enniscorthy, the artists lose out, and then obviously people want to be entertained too.
It just brings everyone together, especially with the youth. I think it's really important to give them something to do.
The beauty of art in the community, it just creates a beautiful ambience.
For this project, it's a great place to meet other musicians, like-minded people, and work with them and create something really special.
I've got to meet some musicians that I've known of, and it's just so nice to meet these people and actually create something with them, you know?
I don't know anybody in Wexford, so I saw the ad and I'm like, that's exactly what I've been looking for. Projects like this, people like me can get involved with.
I would like to see, honestly, more places that do stuff like this and more places that people can meet up to play music, any type of music.
The main thing I'd like to see improve for the arts is just more outlets for people, especially the younger people. They need some vibrant scene to grow.
I've been trying to find that in Enniscorthy or anywhere in Wexford.
You have to kind of start somewhere, and a little bit of funding, it turns into big things, you know.
For a town that has so much theatre going on and that we're struggling.
Creative Places, they're just such welcoming, interested people.
If there was funding for more projects where we could all meet up, it would help bring people together and more people stay in the area because you become a community of artists.
It's like an education as well. You can discover talents you never had before.
You'll forge friendships with people. It connects people on another level.
It brings people together. It's peaceful, what the world needs more of. Like, what can you say? Music is just everything. Music's the new religion.
Having a music scene is important because it's the base of the culture in the town.
It kind of gives a place for people to express themselves. In a place like Enniscorthy, there's not a lot to do.
You add in the housing crisis as well. A lot of people are coming back to where they're from. You're seeing local art scenes pop up all over the place.
I signed up for this project because I enjoy meeting other musicians. Enniscorthy has such a vast wealth that needs to be encouraged.
I'm used to kind of recording music by myself, so I wanted the experience of kind of being with other musicians and stuff.
You think you know everyone that's kind of into sound that plays music, but evidently you don't.
I just adore being creative. It makes me better as a musician and as a person. I love it.
What I'd like to see improved with the arts in Enniscorthy is more opportunities for musicians.
It's tough going here, places restrict around over 18s and stuff, so just more venues and more practice spaces and more availability to people.
I'm relatively new, and I'd like more places for beginners to be able to play.
The more accessibility there is for people, the better and the more people can learn and develop their own creativity. I am so grateful to Creative Places. They are vital. Music needs to be encouraged more, and I think Creative Places are definitely doing a brilliant job, and I hope it continues.
I think it's great that stuff like this exists, especially for younger people.
What's going on here is good because it connects everyone in the scene. I think that's important and it needs to continue.
As a young person in Enniscorthy, there was absolutely nothing for me to do. Because of the fund, it's giving me an opportunity to do stuff I'd never be able to do. I think it's going to create a community, but even if it doesn't, it's definitely going to have a long-term effect on me.
It's very important to have a music scene in a community, particularly in the town of Enniscorthy. There's an abundance of talent.
The reason I'm here really is because of the music scene. It's how I get to meet people.
Even before a child learns to properly talk, they're singing, they're dancing. So it is the centre point for a lot of children and for a lot of people in the communities. And it's the universal language.
It just brings a nice atmosphere to everywhere you go, really.
Tonight, 5 of us working together in a collaborative environment here. It's a creative environment, but it's also people love listening to it.
I signed up for this project mainly to meet new musicians. Something like this project is ideal to do that.
It's so nice to be able to meet other musicians in the community.
Push you slightly out of your comfort zone, you learn something new, you know.
It really gets the creative juices flowing.
It makes people come together and in turn brings life in the town.
And it's an ideal opportunity to showcase what talent Enniscorthy has. I really just want the music scene in Wexford to just get more recognition with its artists and stuff like that, you know. Any grants is always going to be welcome, and some small investment will go a long way.
Even looking at this project alone, it's incredible. It is really important that music gets more funding.
There's 40 musicians involved in this project, so this project is actually really productive.
It's affecting a lot of things, and it's affecting it in a great way. So of course it's going to have a long-lasting effect because people will remember it, you know.
If music makes them have a good time, then they form a bond.
Music is a universal language. Friends connect, strangers connect. It's just incredible.
That itself is so good for the soul, whether you're singing in the shower or whether you're playing the Aviva Stadium.
Couldn't imagine a community without a music scene. It'd be awful.
Any activity that brings people out of their shells and makes them mix, to me, it's a good idea.
It generally lifts everyone, and it's so important that that's supported.
Well, that's going to be a bit cheesy, but music is really part of my life, and every time I play music, I'm so happy.
I just think it's the kind of challenge that any musician or artist needs, is to get out of the comfort zone. Because, you know, you never know what's going to happen, but it's always going to be good.
I try and do a lot of stuff by myself, and I kind of miss that collaboration. So, like, it's a little bit outside the comfort zone, but it's good.
I wanted to do something to meet new people. It's an opportunity, and it's fun.
Music is it's a collaborative process. It's fun, simple as.
I don't remember anything as structured as this, so of course it's a great idea to try it.
If you have just someone or a set of people to come along and just give a little bit of a push, either financially or encouragement, it's really important, yeah, and more of it needs to be done. Like,
just bringing people together, I think, in itself is a good step.
Just in terms of the council, music isn't something that I think is appreciated by them. It's very non-existent in New Ross. I go to places like Enniscorthy because there's more vibrancy there in terms of music.
I don't know if there's as much encouragement in society for young people to say, look, there's other things you might excel at. There's a kind of a gap where people maybe need to say, I'd like to have a go at doing something. No one should be discouraged from doing any kind of artistic endeavour.
All of us have our differences, but as soon as you meet someone who has a mutual interest in music, automatically you already have that commonality with them, you know? It's just that little bond, that's what it is.
When we're playing music, it's gratifying. So yeah, it brings more joy. And I think that's what makes people more united.
Any social construct that encourages people to come out of their bubble and meet other people and engage with them, whether it's music, where it's art, where it's theatre, where it's sport, whatever it is, it's a lot better than us all just sitting at home looking at our smartphones.
Having a music scene can't be understated. You'd notice it in places that don't have a music scene. I don't know what Enniscorthy would be like if we didn't have the presentation centre.
Especially here, having a music scene, it's really important. It brings like so many people together. Like, you know, the gigs in the presentation centre, it makes us like really tight-knitted, I could say.
An art scene in general, there's nothing better for people to share what they're passionate about.
I signed up for this project because I love jamming with people, and it was another opportunity to find more like-minded people.
I love songwriting, so this is just another opportunity to try something new.
Well, I want to expand my horizons, but I'm enjoying it so far. I'm finding it great.
Funding needs to happen. Are there music scenes that could be developed that aren't being developed? Because there's so many people all over the place that play loads of music that might not have the access to it.
If there's more funding towards it and we could get gigs going on all the time, because it's usually once a month going on in the presentation centre, where if you had a gig like every week, everyone would be at it, you know, and I think you'd really see an explosion in bands around the local area.
Something like Creative Places, the effect would last a lifetime. I'm probably never going to forget this.
You already have the grassroots foundation for a big music movement. You see it in Waterford and Kilkenny, and you see that they're like hubs for music. I think Enniscorthy really could get a piece of that market, you know?
Stuff like this, it'll bring people closer together. It makes you feel great, and like, I love it.
I think any investment is good when it's taken care of. It gives that space for people to kind of relax and just enjoy the time of it, you know? If we don't have music, then it's really not a community. Like, there's something about music that you can kind of make beauty out of all the nonsense.
It makes people realise that they're a lot more similar to each other than they might think.
When people come together and make music, you kind of get the best out of them. It's kind of like self-therapy as well, so you get to like work on yourself while you're making good art, you know, so.
A music scene in a community, it's like having a ready-made bunch of people who understand you so that you can connect with.
Having music in any town is good for everybody that's in it.
It's kind of multi-generational as well, because you can have people as old as us, people really young as well.
It's a great way of making friends and being creatively expressive.
It's pretty much vital to the community to have music going around.
I signed up for this project because I wanted to explore songwriting and composing more, and I thought this would be the perfect way to do it with like-minded people.
I saw the chance to meet people and improvise and create something new. I thought it was just such a great idea.
I signed up so I can have like a feel for different genres that I wouldn't necessarily have played before. So far it's going well.
We signed up for this project because she wanted to.
The art scene in Enniscorthy really is quite vibrant, so a project like this for me is amazing because it mixes us all up together.
You're more encouraging younger people to just do whatever they like fancy. Like, I want that to be more encouraged.
This type of a project that's a collaborative thing is a really great approach to shaking up the scene. Creative Places thinks outside the box about how things can operate.
I can't see why it wouldn't have a long-term positive effect on the town.
If somebody said to us, like, what did you think of it? We'd be totally positive about it.
5 of us met up and we all wrote a song together, and that wouldn't have been possible if it weren't for Creative Places. And it's a great way to just creatively explore without having that pressure. It's just a fun way to meet up with people, I think, and to explore your creativity.
Music brings people together because it is just a free way to express. For me, music completely bypasses words. Can't find the words, but the music will hit.
Music only exists for enjoyment. Simple as that.
Having a music scene in the community for me is vital. I moved here partly because it's an area and a country that seems to respect, support, enjoy the arts.
I think it brings up creativity in youth, especially when teens growing up, they don't really have anything to do, and so music can be a form of expression in that way. I signed up to this project because I thought it might be a good opportunity to see where I'm at and just be able to jam with other musicians.
It was an opportunity to come into the studio to work with some musicians I probably didn't know, so it was kind of exciting.
I like being pushed, out your comfort zone for a while, and that's definitely happened here today.
I'd like to see improvements in the arts in as many opportunities for all ages, giving everyone the opportunity to experience music.
There's definitely a growing scene in Enniscorthy especially, making it more approachable for people maybe outside who are interested in music but they're not quite sure where to go, who to talk to.
I think more exposure to musicians, especially ones that maybe don't go out and play gigs or ones that don't post on their social medias. In the broader concept of musicians, there's so many more in Enniscorthy than we think.
When thinking about whether something like Creative Places can have a lasting effect, I think we're so lucky that funding is available. It's great when you get organisations that give opportunities to all ages, all genders, all nationalities. I'd be very surprised if it didn't have a lasting effect. It's fantastic.
I think it's definitely a memory that I'll remember for a very long time. Just we have free, it's great.
Without music, it'd be a boring old existence. It's an integral role in the community as far as I'm concerned.
When people get the opportunity to take part in music, it's building an audience for the future, and a thriving art scene, I think, means a thriving country.